Boola, the new social challenge app that'll change the way you and your buddies challenge or dare each other, is finally here.
We're totally gonna win!
Nah, man, I'm putting a Boola on it. Loser has to wear my sister's tutu.
Just put a Boola on.
I'm in!
You can challenge your friends, your enemies, or even a complete stranger to anything, anytime, anywhere. The best part is, the app will hold you accountable.
The Boola's official. You can't back out now.
Bro, he's wearing it, 2-2.
Yeah, everyone's seeing it, dude. I can't believe it.
Boola, Boola!
Boola, make life fun.
Hi, I'm Josh Booty. I'm here with Coach NIL Mazzone, and we're bringing you Win the Weekend podcast.
Let's go, brother.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go.
It's
go time.
We're talking about a lot of, that's what's happening is a lot of these players are saying, let's go. They're leaving their schools. It's
the
transfer portal, and a lot of people are wondering what's going on with thousands of kids entering the transfer
Something like almost 2,000 the first day the portal opened.
Yeah, it is nuts. That was last week, and it's been a week or so now since that happened, and you're seeing, my nephew's coming down here. He's at Oklahoma tonight to hang out with us, but he said 16 players have left Oklahoma. They're not there for bowl prep. They're not there for their bowl game against Florida State. They're playing in Orlando on the 29th, but that's got to affect a coaching staff like crazy.
100%. You're losing 16 players before your bowl. And some of these are big bowls. I mean, you're playing for a big money payday for this university, for prestige. What's interesting to me, Josh, is that that you used to transfer, you had to sit a year the old school way, right? And you left because maybe you were not playing at a place you shouldn't be at, right? Yeah. Or there was you were third on the depth chart. You wanted to get on the field and play. And I think right now, a lot of these kids are doing it. Why? For the NLI, right?
No doubt. They're trying to go get they're trying to
which I don't blame them.
And they're testing the market. It's free agency. Every year it's going to be free agency, and you're going to see guys even leaving in the middle of the year. They can't, of course, go and play in the same calendar season, but they're looking for more money, and that's just the way of the beast now. But that's got to upset coaches. There's no loyalty to the program, and I know coaches bounce around a lot too, but when you're trying to build your roster and keep your job, it's a big deal. And these guys are jumping around like crazy.
And I think there's a couple things that hit me. Okay, number one is you're trying to build a program, all right. And so now to build a program, the lifeblood of any program is recruiting. Okay, so now it used to be you go out and sign 25 kids, you cap it at 85. All right. Well, now you're not recruiting 25. Maybe you're only signing 12 high school guys because you're going to sign 10 portal guys. So now it trickles down and hurts the high school athlete. Okay, so now instead of taking 2 quarterbacks every year, like I've done for years, hey, I'm only going to take 1. And I'm going to hang around and see who's left in the portal that can maybe give me some instant help or upgrade my positions at all the positions.
Maybe a more mature kid that's been in college football, that's been practicing against Power 5 defenses on scout teams across America on other teams. And so I could see where that would be a big advantage to a coach, having a guy that's a couple years older. They know, he's been in a program where he's been coached, right? I mean, high school kids are, there's some that are close to probably playing at that level, but then there's some that aren't that close when they show up and need a redshirt year or so.
And I tell you, the other thing it changes you as a coach is, I know Sonny Dykes, when he was at SMU and some other places, is, okay, so I lose a guy to Oklahoma and I'm at SMU or I'm at Louisiana Tech or I'm at one of those mid-majors and I lose a kid, right? Guess what I'm going to keep doing? Even if he goes to Ohio State or Oklahoma, I'm going to keep recruiting him. Because if he's not happy there at some point or he's not playing,
I'm going to keep that dialogue
going and he comes right back to me. I think Sonny
has always recruiting.
I think he had some
guys on other teams now.
Yes, I think he had something like 17, 18 transfers at those places. And the same thing with Lincoln down at SC. All right, a lot of those kids that bounced for the receiver from Pitt. Caleb came from Washington.
Jordan Addison, the receiver. Blitnikoff winner. Where's Blitnikoff at Pitt? Has success like crazy. You win an award like that, then you're jumping to USC and help Caleb Williams and them have really turnaround here at SC.
But you know who has the highest? You know what the biggest commodity in the portal is?
What's that?
Offensive lineman.
Oh, it's got to be.
I mean, if you're an offensive lineman,
experienced lineman,
dudes, because you're always looking for offensive linemen. I mean, from the NFL to the USFL to the XFL to college to high. I mean, that's the hardest thing to find. So those guys are the guys that are going to jump in the portal and really upgrade or if they want to move up into a conference or a higher level of play.
Look at some of the last Heisman winners. I mean, we had Burrow, transfer guy from Ohio State to LSU. We had Caleb Williams, transfer guy, Jalen Hurts. I mean, you're talking Kyler Murray. You're talking about
Baker Mayfield.
I mean, we're naming 5 right there in the last 6 years probably, and it's like, all those guys went through that process, and so they can benefit from it now, and schools can benefit from it. But a lot of these guys, like JT Daniels, he's going to be at 4 schools in 4 years.
What's a double-edged sword, right? You do jump around. If you don't hit the right spot, okay, or things don't play out the way it should be, guess what? Then you're looking for another one. And you're looking for another one, and you don't find that home.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, and the other thing that's, the transfer used to be because I'm not playing, maybe I'm the second teamer or third teamer. I want to find a place where I can get on the field. Well, now a lot of times it's because of the NIL.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, for sure.
I mean, I may not be a Ohio State or an Alabama or a Arizona State fan, and I've always wanted to play there, or they need me. Maybe because the NIL deal's better there than it is where I'm at.
There is no question. I always think about Saban because he's been kind of king of the hill for so long in college football. He went and plucked the best running back available in the transfer portal, Jaden Gibbs, last year, and brought him over. He was a half of their offense, really. He led them in rushing. He led them in receiving. Bryce Young was banged up a few games, and, of course, they didn't make the playoffs, but that one piece could have helped Alabama maybe win a national championship, and it's helped.
Which was a portal
Lincoln
kid.
Riley,
and he was a portal
kid. It's helped Lincoln Riley bring USC back to prominence, really, in college football. And we talk about Deion Sanders, the move from Prime is back.
I love it.
I love it. I do too. Marketing is such a big deal in college football.
He's one of the best.
And branding, right? It's branding and marketing, and now with the NIL stuff and the collective stuff, he's one of the best in the business. And he's bringing his kid over, who was a quarterback at Jackson State, but he's going to bring way more than that. Travis Hunter and probably another 20 guys.
I mean, always, who wasn't always a fan of him as a player?
Yeah,
right. At Florida State, I was, at the Falcons, wherever, and then so he makes that jump into being a college head coach.
Yeah.
So, you think, okay, man, it did an awesome job down there. And now I think probably one of the best hires in a long time. All right.
I agree. I think he could be really, really good for the Buffaloes.
Yes.
And we're going to see them probably come back and make a real run, be a top 10 team again. And that's been a long time since, Colorado or Nebraska has really been in the mix. And I think Matt Rule at Nebraska, Deion at Colorado, and what he can do to really lure kids, he's probably going to go get a lot of the best players.
Do you think any of this coaching, Prime going to Colorado and Matt Rule, now you also have the realignment getting ready to hit.
Exactly.
UCLA and SC jump in the Big Ten. What's going to happen to Oregon? What's going to happen to Washington? I mean, there's a little bit of unknowns on how this all shakes out. 2 or 3 years from the road, we might see 3 super conferences.
Yeah.
3 16-team super conferences, and it's almost like it's getting built like the NFL. Right, divisional champs, AFC, NFC champs, and then have your true national champion.
Yeah, I think in the SEC, of course, we're seeing Texas and Oklahoma come that direction. It's just how are they gonna create their schedule, or they're gonna be pods, inside the conference, because you're not gonna be able to play that many games to cover that many teams. So the pods and the way they play, home and away games and stuff like that inside the conference is going to be really, really interesting. It's going to be really interesting because there's so many teams, and that's going to happen in the Big Ten as well with the additions of UCLA and USC. And I know Oregon and other teams have petitioned to go that way too. So there could be some juggernaut.
And there's going to be some guys left out.
Oh, no doubt.
There's going to be some
upset.
some Power 5 schools that are sitting there at the end of the day.
They don't get to play those teams.
Yeah, where are we? Because like anything, right? A lot of life is driven by the dollar.
Yeah.
Right. And the TV contracts, which is now fueling the NILs, and the portal.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole game of college football, to me, after over 35 years of coaching in it, I can remember back in the old days when you had your 25, you took your scholarship paper, jumped in a car and drove over to this high school and signed that guy, and took the next one and jumped in a plane and flew some.
You had to be everywhere.
It's just totally different now.
Yeah.